Review blog posts can be incredibly profitable for affiliate marketers, but ranking them is difficult. What's up, everybody? This is Nate McAllister, and in this video, I'm going to show you some tips on how to better rank your review blog posts. Also, I'm going to show you that one little trick where you can actually get the rating to show up beneath your article in Google. Let's get into my computer and dive into it. Okay, so first, review posts have always been a paramount part of affiliate marketing. They're hard to rank for a number of reasons. Number one, they're highly competitive. You and I aren't the only people that know that review posts have high buyer intent. If you're reviewing something, that means somebody's reviewing it to buy it. Second reason that makes it hard is that if you don't have a high DR site, it can be hard to rank because there's a lot of high DR sites that already are doing the same reviews. But not only that, getting backlinks, like if you want to be the underdog who's trying to get high spots by getting a huge amount of backlinks, it can be hard because it's not really natural to link to a review post. So no one's going to organically, with a few exceptions, link to your review post. It just doesn't usually make sense. So if you're going to do link building, you have to put in a lot of effort, and that might be working with an agency, doing all the white hat things, spending some money and time really building links. But even if you do that, you still might not rank. But what I'm going to show you first is one thing that you can do to immediately increase your chances of ranking. What I'm talking about is something called schema. You've seen it. Let's type in a review here. Let's type in Whoop Strap. This is a fitness app that I use. Actually, no, let's take it even further. Let's go Whoop Strap reviews since we're talking about review posts, right? You're going to notice something about most of the main sites here, the schema things at the bottom of each of the URLs. So for example, up here, we've got people ask for. That is an FAQ schema. And I'll show you that here in a second. And then down here, we have reviews with actual ratings. We have other things like call outs and also some snippets here, battery life. Notice what I learned from a month of Whoop. I'm going to talk more about that in a second, but this is the new review post. This is how review posts should look if you really want to actually rank them and actually compete with everybody who's doing the same product plus review plus 2021 plus alternatives plus whatever. These are the ones that are going to actually over time win. But we'll talk more about that. First, I want to talk about schema. So you might be wondering, how the heck do I add schema? Is it just automatic? What do I do to get it to appear? I recommend a third-party tool called Schema Pro. It is, let's type it in. Schema pronunciation. Schema. All right. Schema Pro, it's not super cheap, but it's also not super expensive. Schema Pro Lifetime, hell, go for the Lifetime. I believe that's what I got. If you want these other things, that's cool too. It comes with some plugins, stuff that I don't use, but maybe you would. You do you, but I would recommend either getting an annual plan to test it out or just getting a Lifetime, and it works on unlimited sites. You should ask them if they let you do it on agency sites, because then you could do it as a service, because this is really valuable and a lot of people don't know how to do this, and it's really hurting their rankings and chances of actually showing up for affiliate reviews. Okay, so I have that installed. I'm going to go into one of my posts and show you how we go about adding it. So this is inside one of my blogs, entreresource.com. Let's come in here into settings, and my Schema Pro shows up in my settings. So I'm going to click on that. And I have several different types of schema set up. I have article, book review, course review, FAQ, service review, software review, and then video object. I can add as many of those as I want to each specific post. The only way that they show up though is if I have them set to these target locations on these rules, okay? So by default, it's gonna put some placeholders there for everything that fits these criteria. So for example, on an FAQ post, let's go ahead and duplicate this. If a post has the tag FAQ, and tags are so critically important, I always tell new bloggers, be sure you're using tags, because when it comes time to do things like add these other types of plugins or things like lead pop-ups where you want them to show up only on certain pages, it becomes invaluable, super, super valuable. So always be sure that you're adding your tags. And this is one of those times when having them in there is going to really pay off. So let's go to one of my posts that is actually using that. Okay, this is one I just wrote
yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago. And you'll see the Schema Pro at the bottom of the page. So depending, unless you have another plugin that puts itself above there. But for me, I've got Link Whisper, which is another awesome plugin. But I have to go all the way down here to this little area that you might overlook if you're new to this. But I've got 3 things here: FAQ, article, and software review. So that is showing because it triggers all these rules. It triggers for software review because the tag is product review. It triggers for FAQ because the tag is also FAQ. And it triggers for article because that shows up on all posts. So let's start here with the FAQ. Let me go ahead and also open up the page. Okay, so as you see here, I have my rating. Some people might think, oh, if I put that in there, it's going to show up in the schema. That's not true. Also, there's multiple ways to add schema. There's free ways to add schema. This is just how I do it. I'm not like the world-renowned expert at schema. I'm still learning things every day myself, but this has really helped me. So let's come down here. For the FAQs, let's start with the FAQs because I think those are really important. If you type in any type of review, type in ConvertKit review, for example, which is a big one for a lot of affiliates. Notice how they have FAQs. People also ask. This always shows up really high, and a lot of people are thinking, well, why would I want to rank that? Because nobody's going to click on that if they're already getting the answer. That's really not true. People will still click on that. And that will get a good amount of traffic, okay? Down here is actually my review, and it shows different schemas. All right, so let's go back here to the FAQs here for Bench. So when I typed in Bench, when I was writing this article, I wanted to have my schema appear. I wanted to answer the basic questions, even though most of the ones that are already up here. I had those, and I've also been a user of Bench, so I was able to think of my own questions, and I wanted to answer those as well. So I put those in there, and then in my post, I use Thrive Architect. I'm able to do this pretty easily. I'm not going to show you how I made these, but essentially I just made an FAQ section with these little toggle drop downs. Okay, so my questions were, how much does Bench cost? Does Bench use QuickBooks? Does Bench accounting do payroll? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I did all that, and then I copied all of those down here, and I manually pasted them in. Question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. Okay. And then for the article, I didn't do anything because it's already just automatic. And then for software review, down here I have 4.4 software application price. I'm going to leave that blank because the price varies. You can get, the people at Schema Pro are really, really cool, and they will work with you to do custom things like creating different variables for your schema. It can get very complex and pretty sexy in SEO terms, but you don't have to do that. You can just use this. So by doing this, it's going to hopefully show up. So let me see if I'm showing up for that. So let's go to Google. Let's type in site, launcherresource.com, and then Bench. Yeah, there we go. Bench.co review. Perfect. Now I'm not showing up for any FAQs just yet, but hopefully over time I will. If those questions show up, it's not a guarantee that if you put that schema in there, it's all going to appear. It's just not. So here you see the stuff that came from my schema was the review was by me. My rating was 4.4. The price says free. I need to adjust that. So now that I have the schema in there, I'm going to dramatically increase the chances of clicking. Because think about this, guys. When you have one spot in Google, so we know that 2/3 of all the clicks go to the top spot in Google, right? That doesn't really even take into consideration the fact that there's a lot more land up here for people to click on. That #1 ad, and when you do ads, you can put your schema and it will usually appear. And it's different. It's not phrased like schema, but you can put those in there. And look at Bench. Look how they're ranking for all this. So obviously their own business, so they're going to get a lot of favor here, but they've got a lot of real estate that people can click on. So even if they didn't click on this, like if this was just your article was this, you have one chance of getting clicks. But if you have all of these bad boys, those are going to show up. They have a better chance of getting clicked. Likewise, if you have things down here at the bottom, the ratings that just looks more professional. Let's go a little bit further. Let's go a little deeper. She has her price down here, $199. She put it was an iOS. That's not correct, but yeah, most people have schema. So let's check out another big one. Let's do something that's not in the in the marketing space. Let's do Athletic Greens. It's this supplement that may or may not work. Yeah, there's a good amount of schema here. Ingredients, benefits, reviews. So these are basically call outs. You've got the ratings, main benefits, all different types of schema, side effect. So I can't go through this video and show you everything there is to know about schema. I don't think that that's the best use of our time. Really, my goal here is to turn you on to the idea that adding schema is really, really, really valuable, and you need to learn how to do it. Also, like I had mentioned earlier, I think that review posts are kind of dying. People will always need reviews and they'll always want reviews, but it's not the best way for people like you and me to get attention to our high buyer intent products and articles, okay? So what I mean by that, let me find this example. I already showed you that Whoop strap one, right? Posts like that are killing it. Like this one right here. What I learned from a month of Whoop. Look how that one stands out from Whoop strap review, right? Let's do another big one. Let's do the notorious ClickFunnels review 2021, ClickFunnels review 2021, blah, blah, blah. They're all the same, right? If you wanted to write an article and stand out, let's see how far we have to go to find one that stands out. This one, Get Response. We've tested 5 ClickFunnels alternatives. What they've done here is actually given value to the review by showing the alternatives, but also they've done testing. I think that that is the future of ranking products, ranking articles for products, is actually doing deep testing. Let me show you the absolute best example I've ever seen of this. WPX Hosting review. This guy named Matthew Woodward did a test that just made it so easy for you to buy it, right? So it's right here, WPX Hosting review, faster than you might think. I think he could have actually given it a better title because he did an insane amount of testing. Check out this article. I'll link to it down below. He's actually the one that made me switch from WPX Hosting from WP Engine. I didn't even know that I wanted it. I wasn't even in the market for a new host. But he went through and he bought all of these different hosts and ran through all these different tests, right? And then he actually shows, he quantifies it with data. That's so much better than, here's my 5-star review of WPX Hosting. It's the best. You can't make money that way anymore. And this is so great. This is actually so good that WPX was using it on their own website. That's when you know you've really made it. Okay? So that hopefully kind of summarizes it, guys. If you take away anything from this, number one, know that adding schema to your posts is going to dramatically help you with ranking, and you're going to get more clicks, higher CTRs. Number two, traditional review posts are hard to rank for a number of reasons. Number one, it's hard to get backlinks. Number two, it's highly competitive. So you might need to start transitioning what you're doing instead of review posts. Start doing things like, here's my story with blah, blah, blah software, or I ran these through these insane tests, or I tried this for 75 days. Here's what happened. Okay. Those types of posts are going to do better. You can compete with all these people that are doing ConvertKit review, ConvertKit review, ConvertKit review, but eventually you'll make more money if you start actually trying to differentiate yourself a little bit and going deeper as opposed to just copying and giving everything a 5-star review. Okay. All right. That is it, guys. Hopefully you found some value in that. I'll put links down below to my article, to Matthew's article here, and also to WP Schema Pro. If you buy that, that is an affiliate link. No pressure to you. It's a great tool. I recommend it. I use it. It's really helped me out a lot. All right, guys. I will see you in the next video.